Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. Good to see you. Welcome to our Colorado Potatoes live event tonight. I'm Chef Jason Morse for my friends at Colorado Potatoes, coming to you live from our kitchen studio here in Colorado. We've got quite a good live for you tonight. Super excited for our live because we always try to, do some different things. And when I was talking with Jess at Colorado Potatoes, we chatted about just some different concepts and some fun things. So tonight, we are combining two into one to give you something pretty solid. We wanted to show you some potato hacks. That's right, when you are short on time, but you still want to enjoy potatoes, you're wondering, how do I get them done a little bit faster? So we have a couple great hacks for you tonight that are gonna help you get up and running faster. Yes, we all love baked potatoes, but sometimes that 45 to 65 minutes in the oven seems like that takes forever, and it seems like it takes longer than you have time to wait or you want it to take. So we're gonna show you some fun hacks to do it faster. I've got a great potato hack that I just took out of the drawer. I don't know if you see it yet. I have a great potato hack that my grandma used to do that was super cool. And then I've got two other fun hacks, and you can see we're involving our friend, the Instapot pressure cooker as well. So we're gonna talk about some hacks to get potatoes done faster, but then, oops, I had leftover potatoes. Now what do I do? And I get a lot of flack sometimes when I say I have leftover pulled pork, I had leftover potatoes. People are like, who had leftovers? You know what? Leftovers happen, right? Sometimes you have leftovers and you're wondering, what do I do? What do I do with them? So we're gonna show you how to use leftovers, whether it's on your grill, which is a fantastic way to use leftovers, whether it's on your griddle, which is gaining popularity. Everybody seems to have a griddle in the backyard to do a lot of different cooking things, or if it's in your favorite pan in your kitchen. Some great ways to use leftover potatoes and really cook once, eat twice, which I think is a huge help when it comes to really dialing in how much you stretch your budget, how much you save time, and that ability to, have some leftovers that you can easily repurpose into something different the next day, making cooking a lot easier, right? Makes it a lot easier, which when cooking is easier, also makes it a lot more fun too. I cook for a living, and I'll tell you what, when it's easy, sometimes easy is a good thing. So be sure to ask your questions and comments below. I'm checking my phone just to make sure I don't have any emergency things coming up. Like, sometimes you get someone that says, yeah, your audio's not working or something's not working. So we are set to go there, and I think we are all good. Now, be sure to leave your questions and comments for us in the YouTube video, because we will come back and answer all those questions and comments for you, because it's right here on my page, the Chef Jason Morse YouTube channel. So let's dig in. Let's talk a little bit about my favorite potato species. I love potatoes in general, but I'll tell you what, there is something about a russet potato that hits me at every single level. I love the snap in the skin. I like the thick skin on there. I love the flavor, and I think what's really cool about potatoes is that connection to the earth. Everybody loves potatoes in a multitude of dishes. I love them fresh out of the ground. I enjoy them baked because I really love to taste that earthiness, the dirt, the minerals, the iron. Same reason I love beets, and I know I'm starting drama there because not everybody likes beets, but I'll tell you, I love beets because of that amazing ability to taste the earth, and I get that in potatoes. Many years ago, my kids are 22 and 20 now. When my children were in their 2 and 3 year old ages, we went down to Alamosa, Monte Vista Center, the Colorado potato mecca, right? We went down there to do some potato events with the Colorado Chefs Association, and as we picked potatoes for our event, we literally went from the field to the plate, and that was cool. It helped me appreciate the connection more, and I love the creaminess and butteriness in the Yukon Golds. I love those Purple Mountain Majesty potatoes. Those are good as well. Red Bliss are fantastic, but Russets always deliver a great everything for me, from fresh fries to potato hash to shredded hash browns to mashed potatoes, everything. These always deliver, I think, that classic potato flavor. So we've got some potatoes set here. We went ahead and washed these ahead of time. I always recommend, even if you buy them at the grocery store, if they come cello packed or shrink wrapped or in a bag, wash them. You're always safest if you just wash all your produce and then let them dry. So we just gave these guys a quick wash. We let let them dry. Now, a couple ways to cook potatoes that are easy and fun is put them in the oven, right? You can put these in foil if you want, a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, put them in foil, pop them in the oven. You can put a little bit of salt, pepper, oil on here, rub them up, rub them down, put them on a cooking sheet, put that in the oven as well. That's going to take a little bit of time, right? Depending on the size of your potato, you can look at anywhere from 45 to 65 minutes. When I was a little kid, my grandma would pound these things into the potatoes, and they were potato nails. What I loved about potato nails, and it always intrigued me, is that my grandma said, well, as you cook, that potato cooks from the outside, and that nail conducts heat from the inside, and I get a fluffier potato, and it cooks faster. And I said, okay, well, how much faster did it cook? And she said, well, you know, it saved me 10 or 15 minutes of time. And I always thought it was just the coolest thing ever. My grandma had these potato nails. I loved them. They were great. They were awesome. And it helped me appreciate what my grandmother put into cooking to get food on the table. My friends at Weber came up with some potato nails years and years ago. And I'm glad that I had this in here because I thought I actually took it home. But look at that, potato nail, potato spike. The cool thing is I can now put that down in here. And what happens is this nail, this spike is going to pick up heat, so that your potato is bringing some heat into the center while the outside is cooking in your oven. This saves me probably 10%, 15% time. So this will speed it up. Let's say that potato was going to take 65 minutes. Now, I bet you I can get that potato done in 45 to 50 minutes max. So it is going to save me some time, those potato nails. My bit of chef's advice, pro level tip for you, when you are taking the nails out, just know that they're hot. So either use a pair of tongs or there is a little potato nail remover that comes in this box. You can use that to hold the potato and pull that nail out. Potato nails work great. So you've got the foil method, you've got the open method, you've got potato nails to speed it up. 45 to 60 minutes, you've got potatoes, right? But let's say you get home and you think, we wanted baked potatoes for dinner. We wanted potatoes for dinner, and I totally forgot. What do I do? Well, we've got two different methods for you. One of them is one of my favorite hacks just to get things going, to speed up my cooking if I don't want to put a nail in there, or if I get home and I'm like, whoa, I'm short on time, I gotta go. I will take a potato or two, wash them, put them into a bag, Ziploc bag or a zipper bag, put a little bit of water in there, squeeze out some of the air. I will zip these shut, microwave. If you want them to soften a little, to take some of the cooking time out, 6 minutes. If you want them to be mostly done and ready to go, where maybe all you have to do is season them, pop them in the oven to crisp up the skin, 10 minutes. Literally 10 minutes in the microwave is going to probably end up being another maybe 5 to 10 minutes max in the oven. That is amazing. That is super, super helpful because guess what? I now saved about 40 minutes cook time when it came to making potatoes. So again, wash it, rinse it, let it dry, put it in the bag, no seasoning yet. A little bit of water in there. Let's see here, I got water over here. Look at that water right here. Ta-da. Little water. I'm eating this potato, so I put a little bit of water in the bag, maybe about 2 tablespoons of water. And when I and check it out, just like that. I will pop that in my microwave. Yes, I will zip it shut 100%. I will pop that in the microwave, 6 minutes for softness, 10 minutes, and it will be done and ready to pop in the oven, roast off, and get ready to go. Now, the 6 minutes for softness, that's gonna be if maybe you want to speed up the process, get them a little bit soft so you can add them into a stew or add them into other things, maybe hash browns or hash. 6 minutes and I can cut them up, and I just sped that time up. 10 minutes, these are going to be nice and soft where when you squish them, they are going to smash. Then I can go ahead and season them into the oven to crisp up the skin and get a little bit of flavor. But you're looking at 6 to 10 minutes in the microwave, few minutes in the oven, 5 to 10 minutes max, and your potatoes are ready to rock and roll. That is a huge time saver. This is one of my favorite time savers because it works, does a really, really good job, and gives me really nice product when I'm done. And again, like I said, I can take it out of the bag, I can chop it, use it in the pan, I can let it go longer, take it out of the bag, season it into the oven. Oh, amazing. A little oil, a little skin, crispy skin, a little salt and pepper, maybe even some bacon fat too. Now, here's another fun way. I just had these in my pressure cooker. Any pressure cooker is going to work for you, make sure you have that small little frame in the bottom for you. And I'll put the potatoes in there, and I will let them go, depending on their size, anywhere from, what do we have on my notes here? 12 minutes on a small, 15 minutes medium, 16 to 18 minutes on a large. Hey, Donna Grayerbill, good to see you. So pressure cooker is another great way to get your potatoes done much, much faster. So 12 minutes on a small, about 15 minutes on a medium, about 18 minutes on a large. And these guys are, oh, they're just so nice. Look at that, I just smashed into that. So these things are ready, right? I can take these out in 18 minutes and put them, cut them, stuff them, put them on the plate, and we're good to go. Or I can season them again, oil them, season them, and pop them in the oven if I want to crisp them up a little bit more. So the process is get your Instapot cleaned out, ready to go. Make sure you have your little, not strainer, but your little rack in the bottom. Put your potatoes in there, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. Obviously, if you have 4, it might take a tiny bit longer. And then I'll add a cup of water. And then I will close my air fryer up. Make sure that I am on the air fry, or I'm sorry, not air fryer. I will put my pressure cooker, close it, and then make sure I have the vent closed so that it's not venting. I will turn it on to manual pressure, pressure cook button, high pressure, and I'll plug it for 18 minutes and let it go. That is a fast way to do it as well. What's nice about this is actually the skin feels a little bit dry because I didn't season them ahead of time. So the skin actually feels dry, like it's gonna have a nice crunch and a nice snap to it, which I think we all love in our russet potatoes, but this is a great way to do it too. And Donna asked about, have you ever done potatoes in the crock pot? Crock pot is another way to do them that works out pretty well too. I haven't done that. I've heard people that do it. And what's nice about it is it's literally kind of that set it and forget it. You load the potatoes in, whatever else you're gonna put in there, shut it, let it go, and you know that you're gonna come back and have great potatoes. So super, super easy. Again, like I said, whether it's a microwave and you wanna crisp them up, take them out, oil them, season them. And I just use some of my favorite oil. I like Graza, good olive oil. I just have some Maldon salt and some fresh ground black pepper. Really good way to season them up. I also have a rub that I make called Cluck. Cluck is a cool rub because it's kind of that balsamic herb rub. Amazing on chicken. Literally though, it's potatoes' best friend because it goes great on potatoes. It goes great in mashed potatoes. Cluck is a great rub to put on there. But I caution you, if you're going to use a rub on the outside of your potatoes, be careful because if the rub has sugar, if it's in your oven is going to be forgiving and it should not burn or get too hot that it would affect the flavor of the rub. But maybe you're thinking, I want to season these out of the pressure cooker and I want to put them on the grill, or I want to put them in my smoker. If you want to put them in your Weber gas grill, you want to put them in your Weber pellet grill, your Traeger pellet grill, Rectech, put them in any of your pellet grills and add some flavor here. The cool thing is 18 minutes in the pressure cooker, I maybe have 10 minutes on the grill or pellet grill and I'm done. So I saved from using nails and taking the slow approach in the oven to speeding it up, whether it's microwave or whether it's pressure cooker. The first time I heard about pressure cooking potatoes, I thought people were crazy. I have to be honest. I didn't have an Instapot. I didn't have an air fryer. And I thought, who needs an Instapot pressure cooker? Who needs an air fryer? Absolutely clutch. They're some of my favorite cooking tools. The air fryer is another great way to finish your potatoes as well. So let's talk about a fun way to use your leftover potatoes. Because I know what you're thinking. Well, I made 6 potatoes for the 4 of us thinking we were going to eat heavy, but we didn't. We ate light. So now we have leftover potatoes. What do we do? Leftovers happen. It's okay. We're not here to judge. Leftovers happen. So I will always like to cool my potatoes down. Yes, it will affect the starch just a tiny bit. Not enough that I'm worried about it, but just a tiny, tiny bit. I'm going to grab my burner, bring that over to us for this minute. Now, let me show you a couple ways I did potatoes earlier. So here's a couple versions of potatoes that I did. I think you can see those pretty good right here. We'll make sure we get those up on my screen. Yep, there we go. So I cut them into wedges, AKA steak fries. I love steak fries. I think steak fries are super cool with, we go to one of our favorite steakhouses here in Denver, and usually I always get the steak fries because I just enjoy them. I love those thick wedges, fry them and they get nice and crispy. But maybe as you get older, you're thinking, I don't want to fry them. I would love to do something else. Couple different ways you could do this. You could do it in the grill. You could do it in your air fryer. You could do it in your oven. Make your own steak fries. So I just grilled these up and made steak fries. Then I also made some potato planks. So some really cool thin potato planks, which imagine you put 4 of those on your plate, load it with butter, sour cream, cheese, bacon, and you have loaded potato planks. And then those steak fries, you could do the same with those as well. But 2 really, really cool ways to do it on the grill. In the air fryer, I would do it the same way, and we're going to show you how. In the oven, I would do it the same way. So let's walk you through how we did that. Grab some gloves here. We have another fun video coming up, YouTube Live coming up next month for Colorado Potatoes as well. And we're going to show you we're going to do a simple recipe. We are going to do a 5-ingredient recipe next month because we want to show you something fun just to keep it exciting. Recipes don't have to be excruciating, right? They don't have to be painful. We don't need to have 100 ingredients to have a delicious recipe. We're going to do a fun 5-ingredient recipe that will deliver every single time. All right, I have a mixing bowl. First, we're going to start off and do some wedges. So I will go ahead here and just cut my potato in half. And then I'll cut it again. Now, I'm being careful because I don't want to beat these up too much. So if I am too harsh cutting them, slamming around in the bowl, we are going to break them up, and I don't want to do that. Drizzle them with just a light coat of oil. I don't want any oil to, go on the cooking sheet pan and make a big, huge mess in the oven. I don't want a lot to go onto the grill itself. And then we always say this, season to your preferred level, as much or as little as you like. I always think it's interesting that chefs say it has to have 2 tablespoons, it has to have this. Do what you prefer. At the end of the day, you know you and you know your audience that you're cooking for. So I always like to season accordingly, and that means how much or how little is totally up to you. So look at this. Where'd I put my thing? There it is. Short little, small little pan here. So now all of a sudden my wedges are seasoned up and they're ready to go wherever I want them to go. So I can put those in my air fryer. I can put these in the oven. I can put them on the grill. I can put them in my pellet grill. So many different options depending on what you want to do. And maybe, it's not too hot today. It is a little bit humid here in Denver, but depending on what you want to do, you don't necessarily always have to go cook inside if you don't want to heat your house up. So great options right there. Those are your wedges. Now, let me show you these potato planks that I'm going to do here on the in my pan, because this is another fun recipe too. I love potato planks. I actually think I might like them as much as wedges. It's a very, very close tie, close second. So here's what we're going to do. We'll take this potato as we have it. Oh, I wanted to bring up one point to you as well. A lot of recipes say before you put the potatoes in the oven or the microwave or whatever, poke them with a fork. Only time I will ever poke these, only time I will ever poke my potatoes with a fork, good Lord, is usually if I'm going to put them in the maybe the air fryer or on the grill, just so I can get a little more flavor into the potato. And the air fryer, I like the oil and the salt and pepper to get in there as well. But usually in the microwave, I will not. Usually in the pressure cooker, I will not. I didn't pierce these guys with the fork, and they came out just fine. So that's up to you when you want to do it. I tend to only do it when I'm trying to get some of that flavor in. If I've already seasoned it and I'm roasting in the oven, or if I'm seasoning it and getting it out onto the grill. All right, so we're going to cut these into some planks. And I'm doing it round. You can absolutely turn it lengthwise and cut planks that way. They'll be a little bit longer, which is not a bad thing at all. Save your ends. This is good if you want to give them to your dog, if there's not a lot of seasoning in there. All right, then I'm going to throw these guys in the bowl as well. And lightly, I'm just going to coat them lightly with a little bit of oil and a little bit of salt and pepper. So I'll coat those guys up a little bit like that. And I like using Malden salt. I like that Malden salt a lot. I like sea salt a lot. Not a giant fan of iodized salt. Tastes pretty harsh, I think, to me. And I could taste that difference, and I don't necessarily appreciate that flavor. So I like to use Malden. It's just a little bit more well-rounded in the salt world. All right, so let's shut this guy off. Let's close that. So I've got just my Hex-Clad pan. You can use a cast iron. Whatever your favorite pan is, use that. Go ahead and get this preheated. Now, because I oiled these ahead of time, I may not oil too much in the pan. I'm going to do something just a tad bit different when it comes to the pan. So, baking up bacon grease, one of my favorite ingredients. This bacon grease does a really nice job. Just adds a good little bit of that pork flavor. You're not going to have any pork bits in there. You don't have to worry about that. You're just going to get a little bit of that bacon flavor. That is a rendered bacon fat. Works out really nice. So we'll go ahead and just let that slide around and melt and do its thing. Just a little bit. I don't need a ton on there. Just a little bit. We'll let that pan heat up. Try cleaning up a little bit here early-ish. These, though, I'm telling you what, you want to have some fun in the oven with your potatoes? Potato nails. Now I'm actually wondering if I actually have these potato nails at my house, or if this was the one at my house that I happen to bring back here to the studio. I get accused frequently of, almost ready, I get accused frequently of everything comes to the studio, and that's probably not a bad accusation. There's probably some truth behind that. So, all right, let's get that going. We'll heat that up. Nice thing about these Hex-Clads is they don't take a long time to get hot. They literally go from turning them on to hot in an instant. Hear that? All right, we are good to go. So we've already got some sizzling going on. We'll get these things going. Now, because these are a thinner pan, once they get hot, they get really, really hot. So I'm going to leave them sit for just a minute. I want those potatoes kind of do their thing. We'll keep this heat hot. We'll keep it fast so that we get those potatoes done. But great way to do it. Now, the cool thing, yeah, these are great for dinner. If you want to serve them with steak or grilled chicken, you put some chicken on top. You can make potato nachos this way. Put some chicken on top, some beans, chili, other things. You can make a beautiful chicken nachos that way. You could also do these for breakfast. Imagine if you use these as the underneath of your Benedict, eggs Benedict. You could put your eggs on there, chop up some ham, Canadian bacon, grill that off. Then you could also put your hollandaise over the top. Not unhappy about this at all. This would be really nice. Now, once you start to see any smoke coming off, turn my pan down just a little bit. All right, let's take a look at this and see what we got. See how we're starting to get a little bit of brown on there? Just a little bit. We're gonna let them go. I don't want them to get too brown, but I also want them to get brown. So now I'm actually pulling a little bit of that bacon fat from around the side back up under the potato, just to bring it back into this cooking so I can get more of that bacon fat on there. I've already seasoned these. I'm not going to add any more seasoning yet. Now, the cool thing is if I want to add some seasoning on the top, I'm going to do it when we're done. When these things are flipped and they're nice and browned off, that's probably when I'll season them, right at the end, just to get a little color on there and a little flavor. But I don't want that seasoning to burn. Look at that. Look at how fast these browned up. That is browning super fast. So I'm doing the same thing again. Pull a little bit of fat up to the center under that potato. Get these guys all in their place. All seasoned up and ready to go. Now, we are going to have some videos coming. So we are going to put this all in video form and shoot some quick little YouTube videos for you. So come back and hang out on this YouTube channel. We're going to have this recipe and both of our hacks, so to speak, in video form. So you'll be able to watch the quick video and get these done that way as well. But I'll tell you, this is pretty cool here. Another fun way to cook potato leftovers. That's a great, these things smell good. My entire warehouse is going to smell like bacon, which is good. Trust me when I tell you that, that is good. All right. Color on there, a little more color on there. You know, I always tell people it's interesting when you do YouTube videos, people want to know How long do you cook them? How long do you cook them? I always tell people do it to your desired doneness. We've only had these on probably about 2 to 3 minutes aside so far, but if you like them darker, cook them longer. The potato's already fully cooked, right? Because it was leftover. So I'm not trying to go over. I just want to get them cooked to kind of where I need them to be, or warmed up, if you will. I don't want to burn them. But let's go ahead and put a little cluck rub on here. Get a little balsamic. It's a great balsamic herb rub that is just going to add a little sharpness of balsamic on here. A little bit of herb action. Not so much that I'm going to burn it, right? But we're going to do the same thing again. Flip it. And we're going to bring some of that fat back up with that rub onto the potato, back into the middle. Oh, man. Smells so good. I was telling one of my friends today, it'd be great if YouTube had a way they could figure out how you could smell things, because that would be worth the price of admission, which there's no admission price, so it'd be worth everything. A little bit more cluck on the top here. Now, I'm going to shut this off and let the residual heat from the pan finish these guys up. That's the beauty of these shallow pans, the same with your cast iron. Once they heat up, they've got a lot of residual heat in them. They're going to do a great job keeping hot, and then that remaining heat that's in there when you turn it off will finish everything until that pan starts to cool down. And you can already hear this pan slowing down. My chefs in school always called it the action. You can hear the action in the pan. You can hear that slowing down, which is really, really nice. So look at this. Couple fun ways to do that, right? There's a couple ways we've done it on the grill. We've got our steak fries. We have our planks. And then we've got our planks right here on the pan. So I'm going to get a picture of this because, you know, you always got to take your pictures. Some fun ways. And hold on. Instagram always eats first, they say. So we'll do it that way. All right, we'll get those done here. So really cool. Great leftover recipes, right? I did these guys on the grill. I did those on the pan. Easily the griddle, if you were doing these on a griddle, it would be the same exact way. I would totally put some bacon grease down onto my griddle, and then I would put the potato planks down on my griddle in my backyard. Always make sure if you are cooking on your griddle at your house, whether it's a plancha that maybe you have inside the house or your griddle that you have in the backyard, make sure that that griddle gets wiped down in between cooks, so that if you were cooking fish on it or shrimp on it, none of that residual oil, residue, fat, anything is still being shrimpy. You want to make sure you get all that wiped off so your potatoes now don't taste like shrimp. That is a huge, huge help. All right. So again, great way to get wedges. 2 different ways, right? I can do them in the pan. I can do them on the grill. I have steak fries. I also have some seared wedges. And then look at that. Some total hacks for you. The microwave, 6 minutes if you want that potato soft, if you're going to dice it and add it to hash. 10 minutes if you want that potato cooked, so that you could turn it into, season it, put it in the oven, put it on the grill, pellet or gas or charcoal, and get some crispiness on there. But literally, microwave, you're talking 10 minutes to get the potato done, another 5 to 10 minutes, and 20 minutes, you are finished. Instapot, pressure cooker, you're talking 12 to 18 minutes depending on the size of your potato. And that potato will be done and ready for you to do what you need to it next, which is going to be season it, pop it into your oven, pop it onto your grill. And then if you want to go full baked potato, you can do them either in foil wrapped and in your oven. I would always season them in a little bit of oil, salt, and pepper. Or you can do potato nails if maybe you want to salt and pepper it, oil, salt, and pepper it, and lay it on a cooking sheet. That's a great way to do it as well. So very, very easy, fun, delicious, and tasty ways with potatoes. I got to figure out what I'm eating for dinner tonight, but chances are it's probably one of those right there. Hey, thank you for joining us tonight on my YouTube channel. For my friends at Colorado Potatoes, thank you to them for letting us come on and do a live. We've got some more lives coming up. We have another live coming up next month. And we're going to focus next month on 5 ingredient recipes. That's right. We're going to do a 5 ingredient recipe. We'll show you something really fun and easy with Colorado potatoes. And then we've got another one coming up in August as well. So we've got some fun recipes to get you going and get you eating more potatoes, having more fun with potatoes. And like I said, don't forget to leave your questions and comments below. We will get those answered for you. And then stay tuned, because I've got these 2 videos coming up for you where we're going to show you start to finish how to do the potato leftover recipe with the planks. And then we're going to show you how to start to finish get everything going in the Instapot. Pressure cooker's clutch. That's definitely a fun one. And the fact that I have an air fryer is pretty hilarious too. It is a great cooking tool. We did some cool things in the air fryer, and it's so nice because it sits right on your countertop. There's a little piece of equipment to clean when you're done. Life is good. Don't forget to look for Colorado potatoes at your local grocery store. You will see that beautiful, wonderful Colorado potatoes logo on those bags. That tells you you're buying local Colorado potatoes, grown up north and grown down in the San Luis Valley as well. But thanks to all my potato growing friends here in Colorado. We appreciate spreading the good word of spuds, right? America's favorite vegetable is also Colorado's favorite vegetable, because I think we do it best. I'm pretty sure we grow potatoes the best. We make some pretty amazing potatoes. Those fingerlings are good potatoes too. So thank you all very much. We appreciate it. We'll see you in July. 5-ingredient potato recipe coming up next.